that the United States Navy, and this guy's in Alberta, which means
he writes for the Calgary Sun.
He landlocked.
I think at one time he was on CBC.
This guy was being investigated as like an enemy of the United States, as a potential, basically he's a rabble rouser. Being investigated.
That's where the vamp was?
Yes, and that by the United States Navy. What's this one? Good morning, Wade and Carter. You're on the air. I think we are. Hang on. Let's see if we're on. Hang on. How are you this morning? Is it on over there, Ash? It should be on. Look.
Yeah, it looks like it, sir.
I think it's on. You take your time. Yeah, Ash says it's on Facebook. Go to Wade and Carter page, and then we should be right there live. I'm wearing an Astros cap today. Hey,
you're welcome.
We appreciate you. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
And this guy,
the notification didn't pop up for us either.
I don't understand. I mean, maybe we're being boycotted.
Maybe.
What if you just go over here and type in Wade and Carter? Like you just did it on the quick link.
The other side, yeah.
Yeah, we're there. I'm certain that we're there.
So we're there.
This gentleman was really beside himself, and he happened to be an acquaintance of Glenn Beck. And Beck told him, I'll do some research on this end from a, are we not on?
Did you put it on your page?
No. No, it was on Wade and Carter.
I don't see it.
Dawn is telling me something. This will help.
I bet you put it on your page.
It's on my personal page. I'm going to go change it around.
Okay, well, you do that. I'll jump into the Wade and Carter weather brought to you by Deerland Feed. So let me do this. Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the fine folks at Deerland Feed Store. For all you need is Deerland Feed. I was there earlier this week. The tomato plants were flying out the door. So if you need your tomatoes, your fresh veggies, they've got all the seeds you need. They answer all the questions. They're awesome. So head on over there. We're going to do this one in Canadian today. Currently it's 10 degrees Celsius, heading to a high of 30 degrees. Overnight low around 20 degrees. So basically that takes you to about 85 to low tonight around 67. And sunshine all day today, slight chance of rain evening and overnight. So there we go.
It says it's starting live video, but it hasn't done so.
Okay. Well, wait, we're good. We got time.
Bring it up and see if it looks right.
Yeah, I see it now.
Is it right?
Yep.
It's not crooked.
No. It's there.
Folks, let me apologize. Except for the fact that Ash just told you the Deerland Feed weather, which is 50 degrees in Victoria, heading to a high today of 86, a beautiful sunny day. The first 11 minutes of the show really were not monumental. You haven't missed anything, and we will run over. You will get your full value this morning. Good morning, Judge
So why
Posey.
was the U.S. Navy investigating a prairie boy from Canada?
And really, Ash, that was his. I get it. He hosts a radio program. He said, look, by American standards, we're moderate conservative because we took Trump to task on numerous things that affected Canada. We were not anti-Biden. He said, my audience, a lot of them probably voted, mentally voted for Joe Biden. They didn't vote for Biden.
They probably did. Let's be honest.
They may have voted for Biden. But he did say, I have no idea why the United States Navy would have a dossier on me and on my radio program in Canada. And what Glenn Beck said was, and I thought it was poignant, if the American Navy is doing this to a guy in Canada with a regional audience, who is doing it to us here, us meaning Glenn Beck, not me and Ash. Who's doing it? We just have one drunk lady. Who's doing it to us here in the U.S.? Very interesting. Glenn Beck was like, wow, I had no idea. It was he at least feigned surprise at what was going on.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all.
He's like, wow, can't believe it.
I mean, all you have to do is look at the weaponization of the IRS by President Obama during his term and the fact that he went after conservative-based radio talk show hosts and tried to ruin them financially.
Yeah.
I mean, they were tied up in years-long litigation with the IRS for nothing other than vocally and publicly voicing their displeasure with Obama and his policies. And he sicked the IRS on them like a bunch of rabid dogs.
And there are people, well-meaning people, and this is what's so scary, is when well-meaning people, do nothing and end up becoming a pawn of the wrong side of things. The left, the Democratic Party, is pro cancel culture. They are pro banning, figuratively, the burning of books. They are, pro all these what used to be societal aberrations. That's their group. That's their people. And it's just in the name of the disenfranchised. Just yesterday, Joe Biden had put up a guy to be the head of one of his departments. The Rachel Levine did get confirmed, HHS secretary, first
assistant.
I mean, why does it end up being news, though? I mean, it is news, but it's sad that it's news that the first transgender person to ever be confirmed. Well, yippee, that makes us all stronger. But they had a guy who was decidedly leftist. I mean, Biden appointed him, and these two female senators voted no because they said until Joe Biden puts up Asian and Pacific Asian folks for appointed offices, they're going to vote no on everybody. And the host that pointed that out said, "Thank you so much for uniting us. Thanks, Joe Biden, for your unifying leadership." Well, he's getting bullied around by a couple of women senators who are saying, "We're not going to do what you want."
Isn't that racist if you're
absolutely
only picking somebody because?
Absolutely. Did you see in Oakland? We reported here first the other day that Oakland was going to give $500 to everybody that was broke in Oakland, and it's only families, people of color,
black people, and indigenous people.
White people can't be broke enough, y'all. White people simply can't be impoverished because you've got so much privilege. It's privilege.
Isn't that kind of what they're saying?
That is what they're saying.
There's no white poor people. It's Joe Biden. Poor kids are just as smart as, or black kids. What was his saying?
Poor kids are just as smart as white kids.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
So there it is. I mean, this is it coming to fruition.
There it is.
So
white kids aren't that poor.
The math works out to about $5.4 million that's been earmarked by the city of Oakland, probably in the stimulus plan. And now I know why Howard University got signaled out in the COVID, the $1.9 trillion COVID relief, alma mater of Kamala Harris. So there you go.
Yeah, and a traditionally and a wonderful education at Howard's a great school. But it's a historically black.
But is university. But I mean, is it worthy of well? But then again, 91% of the spending in that bill had nothing to do with COVID, so it doesn't matter.
You did see where the money went. That was obviously not even very masked. It went to Schumer, that guy, Chuck Schumer's district. It went to Nancy Pelosi's constituency.
They're not even trying to hide it.
They don't even hide it.
No, but
because they think that the left, their supporters, are so thrilled that Donald Trump is out of office that it doesn't matter. Trump, Biden in his press conference yesterday just went on and on and on. And every time he got a chance, he mentioned the immigration problem and the gun problem. Do you know, through the entire COVID pandemic and the 2 years prior to that in Trump's administration, we didn't hear about an immigration problem because there wasn't one.
There was when he took office, and he worked his butt off
and got rid of it.
To solve it.
And we didn't hear about ISIS, and we didn't hear about Kim Jong-un, and we didn't hear about gun control because these things weren't issues under President Trump. Joe Biden wins an election in November, and he did accurately point out, well, this surge on our border started under President Trump. You're right, it did. Right after you were declared the winner, they started coming. And now he's taking full credit, folks. Please don't absorb this from this clown. He's taking full credit. Well, we're vaccinating 2 million people a day now. It's unprecedented, and it's just great what we've done. Now you're all piggybacking on Donald Trump. Donald Trump's the one that got those vaccines rushed through the system. And I tell you what, if people start dropping like flies 6 months from now from this vaccine, I'm going to blame Donald Trump for rushing it through the system. It's not like he gets a pass, but you've got to be genuine, right? You've got to be honest, Ash, and say that Joe Biden had nothing to do with these vaccines. Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Crazy.
I have a feeling if he would have been in the Senate instead of the former VP on the sidelines, he probably would have blocked any efforts, because there's no unity in the Democrat Party, and all they're trying to do is divide. $5.4 million will be earmarked for 600 families, I think, in Oakland of color. Not based on, we're not looking at who's the poorest of the poor here.
Right. It's just ABW, anything but white.
It works out to $16 a day if you figure out $500 a month with, average 30 days in a month, right?
Which, by the way,
for $16 a day, you can help support.
Keeps them eating out of a bag, keeps them all eating at McDonald's, which they'll all be fat, and the next time the COVID comes around, they'll all die. There you have it.
But $5.4 million. Where's the job training? Where are the lifelong skills that go along with this 500 that would actually, if you break it down, that 500 isn't even close to the $15 an hour of a living wage that they all cry you need. So if you really need $15 an hour to survive, why are you only giving them $500 a month?
Right.
Because it's not even close. You're so full of crap in all your narratives and people don't call them out on this, right?
But they call the right out on everything. The left gets a free pass from the media.
But with all this money that's currently being made through these NFTs, non-fungible, whatever it was, I can't remember exactly what it's called. Why aren't they teaching some of these kids in these families some digital art skills? Because, some of them are probably very talented.
Absolutely.
They just haven't had the ability to show it because they don't have the means to get a laptop or a computer to try and do that stuff, to play around.
I agree.
If $15 an hour is what it's going to take, why not take some people, anybody in this program, teach them to be an electrician, teach them to be a plumber, teach them a trade, where now they're making $40, $50, $60 an hour. You've blown past the $15 an hour, which doesn't let you live in California for anything.
No.
Instead, we'll just throw $500 at them because it'll secure us 600 votes down the road, or 600 plus when you factor in, the 2.2 children that's in an average household in this country.
Well, you give them $500, they're going to grab a bottle of wine and have another kid. How about I tell you that my comment about the Democrats has always been, the Democrats give folks, typically folks of color, they give them just enough crumbs from off of the Democrat table that folks don't ask for a loaf of bread. Well, we're getting these crumbs for free. Let's don't rock the boat. and they don't ask for a loaf of bread, and they never, ever try to find a way to buy their own oven. Understand that. That is what the Democrats want. The Democratic Party, by observable definition, needs folks to be reliant upon the government. Understand that. There is nothing in the Democratic Party's agenda that promotes self-reliance, personal responsibility, or ambition, entrepreneurship, any of that. It is all a collective. It is all about those of us that are smarter, wealthier, and better than you helping you. And you'll hear their narrative all the time. We're the government. We've got to help. We've got to do something.
They try to intersperse terms like charity.
Yes.
When it's not.
No, it's enslavement.
That's where we are.
Call us. Tell us we're wrong. 575-9509.
Scott Snow, good morning. HR Mallory checking in. Scott Tomko, Michelle Hawkins, Marvin Mickish, good morning. Diane Tippett, Judge Posey's in. Ryan Hopping, good morning. Andy Ria Jr., Chris Conrad, Karen Webb.
Watch this.
Robin Moore Knipling, Justin Glass, Lisa Poole, J Dub. Notice the hat? J Dub.
J Dub's in the house. Look, right after him, Johnny Houghton, double aught secret spy right there. He's following J Dub.
Back-to-back Canadians.
Hey.
Bobby Leister, good morning. I see the I see the Leisterometer is still holding steady at.
See what Adam Daughtry said? The U.S. Navy can't investigate anyone unless they're military. Makes you wonder because this guy's got the paperwork. You know, the Navy's investigating him.
Chris Conrad was asking who was being investigated. Ezra Levant is who was being investigated.
Yeah, this rebel news. I have not gone. I don't think you would be doing anything crazy if you went to rebel.
Might flag you with the U.S. Navy.
I don't know. If they can.
He's kind of built Canada's version of
Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck. He's probably a little bit more on the he tends to. Well, he's the one that broke the story about Justin Trudeau okaying and the training of Chinese troops in Canada.
Yeah, he's a conservative guy, but he's not a right winger. Like Glenn Beck, to me, if casually speaking, he's kind of a right wing conspiracy buff. Now, I like Glenn Beck, and it is uncanny how when I get in the car after our program and I go over to say I think he's on 98.1. If I go over there and listen to Glenn Beck, his top 4 or 5 stories every day, 4 of them are the same as our top 4 or 5 things we talk about. There's Sheriff Andy Louderback. Good morning, sir. That's America's sheriff. He is taking, Ted Cruz has this contingent going down to the border. So you know who they're taking? America's sheriff and Trigger. Yep. He's got to get a head start. I mean, it takes a while to cross that King Ranch on horseback.
Kathleen Leininger, good morning. Christina Wise checking in. Stephanie Miller checking in. The Canadian contingent is huge this morning. Chris Ray Brissett, the Iceman.
Trigger is amazing, though, Ash. Now, when they drop down the back cargo door, or like, say, Air Force One, he just walks right in. But it's crazy that on Air Force One.
Does he have that little bag on the back end of the horse so it doesn't drop?
Yes. Well, no, they have 2 Secret Service guys that are there to pick that up.
Gold-plated shovels?
Yes. And the other thing is the paddock, if you will, his little stall. There's always fresh oats. And, well, there may be cutbacks now under Biden, but just buttery soft leather around the perimeter for him. Yeah, very nice. It's in his contract. What's Gibbs?
HR Mallory, Natalie Mayer, Mark Jameson, Rob Moore Knipling.
Hello,
Equity
Mark.
Doesn't work when you're still giving to people based on race, gender. It's in no way uniting people.
What we've done, what we've accepted in this country is that all white people are bad. If you don't recognize it, then you're part of the problem. Good morning, Wade and Carter. Try to help us out a little bit. Oh, we love you calling. Thank you. Well, ma'am. No, I agree. He hasn't done a thing. We listened to part of his press conference yesterday, and it's just so crazy. The comedian Dana Carvey does a bit on Joe Biden where he just says, "Well, there's three things. There's number one, okay, number one, and then two is it's that two thing." And three, you all know three. Yeah, I mean, it's not rocket science. Hey, I'm being serious here. And that's the way Joe Biden talks. He just talks in circles of nothingness that have no substance and carry no weight.
No, there's nothing in it.
Yes, ma'am. But enough about us. How are you this morning? What's going on in your world? What are you going to do today, ma'am?
Well, good.
Well, we sure appreciate your listening and your support. And I want you to, well, God bless you. We hope you'll call us anytime you feel like it. Go make it a great day.
Have a great weekend, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Love that, and I don't know how you folks picture our audience, but that's a bonus to me. We love that. There's Funky Trey Molina.
Yeah, just the fact somebody calls.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. Jamie Coleman checking in. Tom Price, Kendra Douglas, Jim Simpson.
What is it at stake?
Wins. How about steals?
Oh, what are we talking about? We got to stay more on top of these comments.
We slacked a little bit. We got off track.
We got our things off.
Chris Conrad, Kevin Leininger says it's virtue signaling on steroids. Christina Wise says, meanwhile, I work my butt off and I'm taxed, but still have to owe income tax every year when I file. Me too. Greg Garcia, good morning to you as well. Matt Beauchet's checking in. There's my brother Chow. Good morning, Chow.
Let me give you a little perspective on TLAP.
Peter Nelly says enough. Change the subject. Yeah.
Well, that's the leftist narrative there. It's like when the facts come out,
they don't want to talk about it.
There's no rebuttal, Pete. You've got nothing you can add to that. But you're right. Allen's record service, 578-6300. Even Allen can't tow the Democrats out of the muck.
The ditch they're in?
Absolutely. 578-6300.
You gotta wonder though if they called Allen's, could he get to the Suez Canal and get that ship turned around?
Problem. He could get that ship out of that Suez. He's got a 75-ton crane. He could do it.
220,000-ton ship.
He could do it.
Yeah.
Well, what Allen would do is go there, shoot a bunch of holes in it, and let it sink. He could do it.
I don't think the canal's deep enough.
The VCS companies, folks, whether you
create a
surveillance,
for divers and
we're all going fishing. He'd be hailed as an environmentalist and a hero. Whether you need surveillance, security systems, surround sound on the back patio, those are just the S's. Whether you need a phone, whether you need, I don't have any more P's to use, but you know what I'm saying. Whatever you need,
personal communication device.
There you go. iPad, whatever you need, the VCS companies can help you get it. Jim Simpson says, I mentioned that. Yeah, right. They did steal the election. You are correct. Chesapeake Furniture, 101 years, downtown Victoria, 116 West Bridge, 50% off still celebrating.
101.
Quality gentlemen. They are in that downtown all the time. It's awesome. Veracruz, today's your last day of the week for Veracruz. You need to get by there today. Take advantage of, man. I mean,
what? One of the dozen of specials
all the lunch specials are all like $8.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than eating a Whataburger. You can bet on that. Get over there and get to Veracruz. And then Texas Coast Limo. Check your availability. Check when you want to have a big special night out.
And call 575 Limo.
That's all you got to do. Ask Bob Constantine to come out and help your family make memories. The kids will always remember. The kids will always remember getting in that limo with mom and dad. Dad just spilled his peanuts. He's got his drink all over his shirt. Everybody loves somebody. Texas Coast Limo, let them do the drive, and that way you can have a good time. That's a good spot. Let's move.
Speaking of the election, we said this, watch and wait till this unfolds. Arizona, is it Maricopa County in Arizona?
Yes.
Full forensic audit of the election results in that county. I mean, the bulk of the votes cast in Arizona were in that county. That's where most of the people live.
Sure, that's where you have Phoenix.
They're
Phoenix
not,
and all that.
and they're doing a hand recount, but they're going deeper. This isn't just a recount going, oh, okay, that vote's there, you know, which more or less, yeah. Which is the fallacy of the recounts, because they threw away envelopes.
Right.
So there was no way to verify signatures. Yeah, no way to do that. So the courts have ruled this can proceed. I believe Atlanta is doing something similar or pursuing something similar. I believe something similar is also being done in parts of Pennsylvania.
The way you said that, parts of Pennsylvania, you sounded like you were from Pennsylvania.
Well, you got to speak like the locals.
It's theater of the mind, folks.
I had to take you to the Amish country.
Eh?
Oh, for sure.
I just thought of the movie Fargo when you did that.
That was a little more Fargo than Amish.
It was. I'm with you.
Stay with me, Brother Mose.
Squirrel.
But some of these, I don't quite know how to phrase it.
Just say it, man. Go with your
heart. But what is going to happen if they find significant? And Arizona probably, I mean, you could change the outcome in Arizona. It's not going to change the outcome nationally because there's not enough electoral college votes, I don't believe, in Arizona to swing it one way or the other.
You can't change it because Joe is already in office. You can't. What are you going to do, man? You going to send him back to Scranton?
You might have to.
You're you're coming around. You're becoming a believer.
No, but I've said this from the start. This is, and I've asked this question: what are you going to do when 6 months, a year into his presidency, they actually find out, oops, this thing wasn't going to win?
Did you see?
People are pointing out how very few people were actually watching that thing yesterday.
There was no media coverage of the fact that a Democrat was declared the winner. Where was it? In Pennsylvania? And they redid the
New York.
Yes, in New York. A Democrat was declared the winner in a House seat, like a Michael Cloud level seat. And they went back and counted, and just ever so quietly, the other day they swore in the Republican who actually won.
Yeah, I think they swore him in on February 11th.
Think about that, people. And it didn't make the news. It really didn't make the news. Oops. The Democrat that we declared the winner really didn't win. And after we counted all the votes again, guess what?
Wasn't the winner.
Yep.
Certainly makes you wonder.
Now Lisa Poole says that was Ohio. Anyway, one of those Yankee states.
I thought it was New York.
I think it was New York. But I don't ever argue with Lisa because she is persistent. Known her forever. She will come down here and start slinging.
Jamie Coleman asked her his approval ratings from the same stuff of his votes.
Yeah,
probably so. Randy Vargenberg asked to tell us something good. I'll give you something good. Second time in a couple of weeks.
Tell me something.
The last time I wore this hat, remember Mika Zibanejad had 6 points in one period?
No, I don't even know Mika Zibanejad.
To the New York Rangers?
Is she married to Ashton Kutcher? Oh, that's Mila Kunis. How about that? I got her name right, Mila Kunis. That's good.
Nice. Right? Very well done.
Thank you. Sorry, Judge. I always try to pretend that I'm talking to Judge Posey, and if he's looking at me going like this, like, no, that's boring. Then I try not to do that.
Where am I trying to get to today?
How about that? You're better than coffee in the morning, and we have Tim Hortons. Now, I'm going to tell you, I know she's talking to Ash because Ash
Who's that? Who said that?
One of your friends right there, Stephanie Miller. And the thing is, see, folks,
I'm out of my Tim Hortons.
Tim Horton, let me tell you the love I have for this man. Several years ago, I haven't seen it in a while. Bought him a Tim Horton tumbler.
Doesn't hold enough coffee.
There you go.
I appreciate it. When I only want one cup of coffee, I use that.
Like if you're only having one Crown Royal in the morning, you put it up in that.
I'll put it in
it's
there.
It's only 24 ounces.
Yeah.
Tim Horton, little known, kind of a journeyman, I think, hockey player. It's my story.
He was pretty good.
My story. and then went on and
But
did what
played-
every great hockey player would do. He opened a donut shop.
Well,
And
he was
he's-
playing hockey.
He's got like 900 donut shops, and he's like the Starbucks of Canada. Fair,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Starbucks of Canada.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe was because he played for Toronto for a number of years. I think grew up in Hamilton, and then was playing with Buffalo
The
Sabres.
Tiger
at the time.
Cats. The Tiger Cats are from Hamilton.
Yeah. And
And
I
you have to
believe
tell people in Canada
you
that
know,
a tiger is a cat.
he was driving his Di Tommaso Pantera, I believe.
Is that how he died?
Yeah, in a car wreck going from Buffalo to Hamilton. So,
Kind of Pantera was a automobile designer, and the body was European, I think, and they wedged a Ford motor in the back end of it. It was always squirrely, but it was very fast.
Yeah.
Michelle Hawkins says, "Hey, there you go." Tim Hortons has the best breakfast.
Yeah, I
sausage.
cut a lot of flap a few years ago because each store used to have the bakery right in the store, and they would bake the donuts every day. And then they started doing what everybody else does, kind of bringing.
Now, where does
bringing their
Joe
truck.
Gomez live?
He's here.
Okay, so I got to throw this out to you. Now I'm going to ask you something. You got a Canadian named Tim Horton.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to a guy from Texas named Joe Gomez to talk about his coffee?
Well, he's dead, so he can't.
Well, there you have it. Joe says Tim Hortons changed their brewmaster, and it's not the same to him. When he first tried it, he thought it was the bomb. It sounds like Joe may be a cafe aficionado.
Coffee snob,
Yeah.
in other words.
Yeah.
So
I have no
where I
problem
was
with that.
going with this, Mika Zibanejad, for the second straight game against the Flyers, has 6 points in the game. He didn't do it all in one period this time. He's slacking
Why aren't you wearing that hat every day for the guy?
because we don't win every day.
Oh. You know,
And I knew J Dub would be tuning in. He's a Flyers fan. So.
you folks that are coffee aficionados, indulge me when I tell you that when I taste coffee, it's always a varying degree of bitter to me. And the things that I have to do to make it sweet are things that I know aren't good for me, right? Add a bunch of milk, add a bunch of sugar. I mean, you might as well just put some milk and some sugar and make it ice cream. I don't want to do that. So I've never been a coffee drinker. Are you after flavor or are you after a jolt? And does the increasing the caffeine make the coffee taste stronger?
I like my coffee darker and stronger. You know, this is the HEB Houston blend, which I'm not a flavored coffee fan, but this one I like.
Now,
And it's a medium body, but I almost go to there's a brand of coffee I really like called Illy out of Italy. It's an espresso based. It's basically you're drinking espresso in a full cup of coffee. But I could drink a cup of coffee and go right to sleep and go right to bed. I like the
that's
flavor
'cause
of
there's
it.
so much booze in your system all the time.
Junior Sample says flavor, and that's what I like. I like the flavor of coffee. And I'll be honest, coffee smells wonderful. Doesn't always taste as good as it
You're
smells, but to
absolutely
me,
right. And the
Illy
aroma,
brand coffee.
the aroma matters,
Yeah.
right? You get up, it's a multi-sensory experience.
Yeah.
Scott Tomko says that he said something important. Go back up there. He says it's an acquired taste. I can remember being
Kind of
a
like single
kid,
malt scotch.
not a kid, but I can remember being in college and tasting certain liquors and things and saying, I'll never drink that. If it's an acquired taste, I said, well, you could probably get used to drinking bleach, but I'm not going to do that. Now, some of those I overcame.
And Stephanie Miller put a pinch of salt in while brewing, lessens the bitterness. Didn't know that.
I did not know that.
If I don't like bitter coffee, I'd never drink it again. It's one thing Tina can't. Tina does not make a good cup of coffee. I go home and make coffee, and she won't drink it because I make it too strong.
Lorena Bargenbrook adds veteran-owned Invader Rum blend from Austin.
When I first saw that, I didn't see the blend. It just said veteran-owned Invader Rum. I was wondering what Lorena's putting in her coffee cup this morning.
Put 2 fingers rum in your coffee, and the sugar's already there. You're good to go, man.
2 fingers of rum and
Jamaica.
almost anything makes it taste better.
That's crazy. Real quick right now, how about Atzenhofer.com? Reach out today. You're at your desk. You know it's Friday. It's a payday for something. You ain't doing nothing. Go to Atzenhofer.com. Find yourself a gently pre-owned vehicle. Go down this weekend. Take it for a test drive. They sold that Corvette. Well,
Yeah.
we sold that Corvette.
They
We
sold
pumped that up.
Take credit.
125 GER. Get over there. to Atzenhofer, right there on the Navarro Motor Mile, just down the road from Higher Prices, stacking them deep, selling cheap. Selling cars like candy bars. And if you don't buy it today, it doesn't matter because they're going to be there tomorrow. White Trash Services, they're everywhere. I see White Trash Services trucks in my daily, I'm typically in this 7-county region that they service. I see White Trash Service trucks everywhere. Some of them are white and you load the trash from the back. Some of them are red and have the big forklift thing on the front.
Yeah.
I talked to Scott Nelson just yesterday, and he told me that he is totally out of
roll-offs
and dumpsters, not dumpsters, but the big roll-offs. They're out. And he says it's a problem. It's a good problem. It's a problem to have.
Supply and demand.
But they're trying to get more of them in here ASAP. Razor IT Solutions, JP Hull will help you with your analytics, your encryption, protecting your website, protecting your source data. I just made that up. Protecting the data on your computer. If you've got people's credit card numbers stored, you have a duty to them. He can help you protect that. When you screw that up, call the law offices of Stephen Kidder. Stephen Kidder can help you minimize the damage from errors made.
He can tell you, there's no help for you.
Civil matters,
he can tell you, we got a case.
Fat kids, skinny kids, kids that climb on rocks. He represents them all. Reach out to the law offices of Stephen Kidder. Richard King says Invader is a really good coffee. See, I don't know where.
Chris Conrad says Independence Coffee from Brian is the jet fuel that starts his day.
There you go.
Oh no, he says the jet fuel is my favorite. So there you go.
You can also go right over here to the health bar and get you a nice smoothie. If you and by the way, they have energy drinks there that are loaded with caffeine that aren't coffee based. I gotta believe what first happened in like Egypt?
I don't know. Here's the interesting. Before there was people able to, freely move about the world. Right. People were drinking coffee in all various regions.
Right.
It had to be a land bridge or something.
Somewhere.
Right?
Russians. BJ Nelson says the roll-off boxes will be here Monday, so don't worry. They can serve. Come see us at the Crossroads Builders Show.
I forgot that's this weekend. BJ, what are the details on that? Give us a call if you want.
575-9509.
Yeah. Community cleanup this weekend in Vanderbilt. Yeah, we'll plug that.
Yeah.
So. Chris Conrad says, Ash, BJ saying she needs more roll-offs. Does not mean she wants you to bring more Russians over to work for her.
Nice.
That's nice. Well played.
BJ said that's a lot of information. I don't even know. I'm lost on my own program.
I know.
We're not going away.
Because Kelly Fromme said that the college boyfriend who taught her the acquired taste of coffee did the same for her for gin.
Wow. Yeah, you're sipping coffee on the way in. You're drinking gin to forget him on the way out. Good morning, Wade and Carter. Thanks for calling.
Hey, BJ. There was a lot of information from Kelly, but Kelly, she's transparent.
She's just, she's bragging a little. She's reminiscing. Who sang that song?
Is this what was formerly known as the Home Product Show? Okay.
Absolutely.
And this is at the Victoria Community Center?
At the Rotunda?
In the Rotunda.
Under the Rotunda? Beautiful.
Probably in the annex, too.
In the annex.
All right. If you can't make it by there, give BJ a call.
There you go.
550-1826. She'll answer.
She'll have somebody answer. You guys
There you
really do
go.
a fantastic job. It
really
is not lost on me the expense involved and the commitment to community to have somebody actually answer the phone when you call. I mean, you know, Ash and I have contemplated right here on the show. The board is always abuzz with calls, and we've contemplated just putting in a, if you'd like to leave a message for Brent and Ash, press 1 now. We thought about doing that, but decided to continue our commitment to answer the phone when it rings.
It's such a burden.
It's such a burden for us. I've been to your office and the phone rings incessantly, which is great. That's opportunity to serve. Well, thank you for all you do. Tell Scott and Carl and everybody hi, and we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Oh, you know, Brother Gary will be there at the opening ceremonies. Thanks, BJ.
Be well. Sweet lady, smart lady.
I always like going to that, seeing what's going on. We got Graydon's birthday party tomorrow, so I'm not sure. I'm never going to be there. Jeffrey Fonseca says Little River Band sang Reminiscing.
Slowing it down on a Friday. As Kelly
LRB?
As Kelly Fronley reminisces about coffee and gin. That man was her tonic.
Don't go too long. Facebook will cut us off.
We got to at least get to the. Come on now, that's good music right there. Then the booze kicked in. She dumped him.
They were so good, and then they tried to get cool in the 80s and change their name from Little River Band to LRB, and just never got there.
Never worked out.
Never got there.
They were great.
Yeah, we'll probably get copyrighted on Facebook.
That's okay. You know, I mean,
you know what they've got? I mean, they've got the music here. So
Stephanie Miller's just pressing 1 for speaking English.
What else are we going to talk about?
I don't know.
Covered Minkus Zinabad and his 6-point effort against the Flyers again.
I see what you're doing there. You're starting to kind of mumble kind of like Joe Biden. Jeff Fonseca, you're in our thoughts, brother.
Absolutely.
Hope you're doing okay.
We talked Suez Canal. We covered the pathetic Joe Biden set up press conference that had nothing but force-fed questions and questions that were screened and pre-submitted. So, I mean,
I never heard Donald Trump one time in any press conference talk about trying to provide peace of mind to the American people. I don't need, if you think
is that the role of government?
A demented 78-year-old man can give me peace of mind, then you're really underestimating my own self-worth. I mean, the idea that Joe Biden goes, these issues are big. Now, people, stay with me. They're big. I'm serious here. Guns, immigration, these are big issues. I want to give people peace of mind. We're going to attack one at a time. He's unbelievable, this guy.
The White House the other day comes out and says that they want to establish more diplomatic normalcy or reestablish diplomatic relationships with North Korea.
Is that the dumbest
thing ever? In the wake
of
North Korea testing missiles.
Just mocking you, just smacking in your face. They quit doing that trash under Trump because he wouldn't stand for it. He cut off their supply of rice, basically.
Remember when Trump actually went over there and talked to Kim Jong-un? They probably played a round of golf. Somebody shot 18, somebody shot 17. We don't know. Somebody eagled them.
But Kim Jong-un, in a national address, said to his people, I didn't like Donald Trump, but I respected him. He said, in paraphrase, this Biden guy is a chump.
Yeah.
I mean, he did. And then the other day, he tested a mid-range missile really just to slap Joe Biden in the face.
And then the Biden administration comes up and says, let's have diplomatic relations with, we'd like to reestablish those.
We'll give you citizenship.
Remember when they bashed Donald Trump for even talking to the guy?
Yes.
Oh, why is he sucking up to a communist dictator like Kim Jong-un? He didn't suck up to him. He went over there, told him what was going to happen if he continued his ways, and we didn't have any noise out of North Korea from about February, March, April of his first year in office till now. Yeah. North Korea stopped doing all the things crazy North Korea does to antagonize the Japanese,
right?
To tick off the U.S.
How do you think South Korea feels about Joe Biden saying, let's try to normalize relations? Trey Molina asked how many golf courses in Victoria? Well, there's 3. Colony Creek Country Club and Riverside. So, yeah.
So,
Trey.
But the Biden administration can get away. I like what you did there.
Yeah.
So Trey was named after the golf courses.
Sure.
Golf course in Victoria. But so Biden can get away stating that they want to normalize relations with North Korea. Donald Trump couldn't go over there to tell him to knock off his crazy crap or we were going to rain terror on him.
Yeah. And he did. He, out of respect, he said, okay, cool. We'll shut it down.
It's just unbelievable.
Biden does everything from a position of weakness. And I do,
think of the problems in the world right now. We got Iran being Iran. We got North Korea doing North Korea stuff again. All the problems that have sort of disappeared over the last 4 years are starting to rear their ugly heads.
But here's the thing. Iran's been Iran for thousands of years. North Korea has been a turd for at least 2 generations of this regime. Donald Trump dropped the hammer on these people. He found a way to hit them where they live. He did the same with our NATO partners. He did the same with the abuses that were going on in NAFTA. He did the same with the Paris Clean Air Accord. It's like, are you people kidding me?
The same with China.
We're not the Paris Clean Air resolution, or whatever you want to call it, had nothing to do with clean air. It just had to do with redistributing the polluters to help the more poor countries
continue to pollute. And had everything to do with feeling good and giving the appearance that they actually did something.
Right.
When nobody did anything.
And China was not involved in it at all.
Well, no, they sent their thing in saying, yeah, we're going to just keep doing what we do until we get to a point where we feel that we don't need to no longer do that. And then we may cut back. We may not.
Yeah.
But we're just keep on doing what we're doing. And that was their commitment to the Paris Clean Air Accord.
But I do wonder, and I think about a guy, a friend of the show. In fact, I'm surprised he doesn't have a top fan badge, Pete McNally. Super nice gentleman, thoughtful guy, educated guy, smart guy. And a giver, really a fine gentleman. I don't understand, like if you sat down privately, it would be okay with me. I would sleep better at night if Pete McNally looked at me and said, hey, look, I agree with you that Biden's a clown. I just couldn't take any more Donald Trump. And then I want him to go a step further and say, but Trump's governance was amazing. It's just him that I can't deal with. I could take that. But the results, what Donald Trump got done is unbelievable in one term. It's just unbelievable what he got done. So.
And now Biden's plan is to sort of just keep pushing the COVID thing as far as he can.
Oh, he wants to ride that.
Because
it
forces people to rely on the government, right?
That's what they need. The Democrats need you to rely on.
Part of his messaging yesterday. Oh, people need help. People got to get back to work.
Got to have peace of mind.
People got to have a house.
He did say that. We're worried about people trying to lose their house. We weren't worried about that 6 months ago.
A year or so.
Yeah.
No, people were buying houses at record rates under Donald Trump. Home ownership.
Craig Simpson liked reign of terror.
Home ownership, even amongst those who have traditionally been cut out of the home ownership market. You're marginalized. People of color is the term that the Democrats like to use. We're buying homes. They were becoming homeowners under Donald Trump till COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then the Dems went, here's an opportunity. We can't have people of color becoming self-sufficient and no longer rely on the government. So let's stop everything.
Well, one thing that I did learn through this is there were not significant reductions in entitlements under Donald Trump. He didn't like go in and cut welfare for those of us that are more.
No, but they
simply
tried to
minded.
scare you that he was going to, right?
Right. But so here's my deal. I'm encouraged that when for lack of the right word, minority employment across the board, whether it be women, whether it be blacks, whether it be whatever demographic you want to isolate, their unemployment numbers went down significantly under Donald Trump, which tells me
Employment.
the American dream is still alive. It tells me that they were encouraged to become part of this growing revolution. They were encouraged to become part of the good things that were happening in America, and they seized that opportunity. They weren't scared into working.
And illegal immigration had dropped to the point where we had more Americans working than ever.
And so now the Democrats are back in power, and what are they saying? They're saying, we're here to help. We're going to help you. You need peace of mind. Dawn Nicole comes in and says, hey.
Except
Trump,
they don't help. They want to be there to be the answer and the solution.
They want to hold
There's
you
no
down.
longer a handout or a hand up. It's just a handout and hoping forever.
Right, to keep you down. Just take a little bit and shut up. Trump was like a strict dad, Dawn says. So many couldn't handle it. He was wonderful for the United States. I totally agree. I think history, here's what's sad, at the place that we're at in our country's cycle, I used to say that history would show Donald Trump to be a great president. I don't think so. I think the cancel culture will do everything they can to remove every consideration of Donald Trump.
Well, I mean, all you've got to do is look back on 4 years of Donald Trump and how they tried to turn Jimmy Carter's presidency into the great.
The brother is in the Hall of Famer is in the house. Ralph Salazar is here.
I mean, the last 4 years they spent trying to convince us that Jimmy Carter was one of the best presidents ever.
Oh my goodness!
As nice a guy as Jimmy Carter was, he was a terrible president.
Terrible president. I've been reading lately that says that we're going to have just unprecedented inflation in this country, that interest rates are going to go through the roof. They're going to realize something Ash and I talked about the other day, that the GDP or whatever, the entirety of income taxes that we bring in as a country won't cover what?
It was the Medicare for all.
There you go. Much less the interest on the stimulus or the repaying of the stimulus. We don't bring in enough taxes. So before they give up, they're going to raise your taxes. They're going to raise your taxes a bunch. And then they're putting off the inevitable, which is a global reset, where like they did in Mexico several years ago, it was 3,000 pesos to the dollar. They made it back to 3. Well, now it's back up to about 18
19,
okay, which is an unbelievable inflation.
Here's something that won't be talked about in this administration at all, and that is the national debt. What is it, 28 trillion now? Something like that? They won't talk about it at all, folks.
No, because that doesn't matter, because they're helping people. I want you to think about if a loaf of bread cost $1 in Mexico, it was 3 pesos. Now it's 18 pesos. So that loaf of bread cost $6 in Mexico. Still just $1 to you, $6 to them, because they're still working for pesos. It's coming here. And then there'll be a global reset to where they'll either go back to a gold currency or they'll go to a cryptocurrency, and we will all be dependent upon the government. What else we got?
Well,
I do need to mention this.
Yeah.
The final break, and then we'll get out of here and let you folks have a positive day after all the wonderful things we've talked about. Dana Mordella Garza can help you. If you're feeling near death after listening to this garbage, 652-9157. That's 652
afterlife.
9157. But Dana could probably get with Cheryl and coordinate a seance.
Probably.
We could decorate a seance from the Gray Barn. 920-6803. Dana can help you with everything from a funeral plot to how you want to be presented to how you want your funeral to be. If you want some Little River Band at your funeral,
Could be there.
right?
That might be.
Or if you
that might
want
be
to,
a
if you
good
want to
funeral
hear,
song.
if you want some gin and juice, if you whatever, we're only popping off because Callie's going to be
You
in
want a
here
little
next
cream in
week,
your coffee?
right? Or I know for a fact that Dawn Nicole wants Pour Some Sugar on Me played at her funeral. That's anyway.
That was your wedding.
Stop it. Motto Sticky Sweet. Motto Mortgage, Terry Murray, all the products, all the variants, all the way up to a reverse mortgage. If you want to do a cash out refi, that's a good phrase right there. Cash out refi.
You know the jargon.
Yeah, cash out refri. Now that would be over at Veracruz. Get with Terry Murray, Motto Mortgage, just down the street or down the strip center there from Jason's Deli between Jason's and Dragon Palace. Reach out to Wind Services for all your generator needs, solar panels.
See, I bring it closer to home, Sally's and Jason's, but you've got to get
You've
full
narrowed
food.
it down. Well, you go to Sally's, you have like 9 different hair products. You have product for the front, because there's a business in the front, party in the back.
Never was.
You have a conditioner for the hair on your back. Wind Services will help you with a generator.
All your electrical needs, plumbing needs, they do it all.
They do, and they've done it. By the way, they've done it all at the 2-4.
Residential, commercial, industrial, they can handle it.
There you go. USA Concrete Coatings, Charlie Garcia, 578 Home. 578 Home. Reach out to Charlie. They'll come out. They'll clean, seal all the cracks in your garage floor, put down a beautiful polyurethane coating that you can make cowboy colors, whatever you want. That it won't peel, it won't crack, it won't fade, it won't stick to your tires. It's tougher than epoxy, and it is a fantastic addition to your home. I think next to remodeling a kitchen or a bathroom, putting down some of this product can really, really enhance the value of your house. There you go. So we're pretty much done.
And the Great Barn. Well, we talked
about show.
Give her a call.
920-6803. I don't know if we're going to let Ralph. Ralph's on the phone in there. I ain't going anywhere. Anybody gives us a call right now, we'll talk about anything you want. We'll pretend to be experts.
March Madness, Sweet 16 this weekend, men's and women's. So it should be fun to watch.
Are we going to watch?
I'll watch.
What else is going on?
I get Graydon's birthday tomorrow.
There's
actually today.
Shovels, right?
Happy birthday to my grandson, Graydon. He's 3 today. We don't do that on the show, but if we did, we would.
Happy birthday, Graydon, from Duda
and Babs.
Duda
and Babs.
It's not Doodar.
Duda.
Hamptown ladies sing the song Doodar.
Kind of.
Tell me you don't really wish, if you had to watch one movie every day, could it not be Blazing Saddles?
Yeah, it probably could be.
Easy, baby.
I'm trying to think. What's the one that I could?
Cleveland.
Caddyshack.
What was her name? Bernadette Peters? Will I see you again? Depends, baby, if I can find some vitamin E.
We're going to get vitamin E for exit.
Folks, we love you guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe on the roads and call Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300 if you need it. Bye.
Bye, folks.
Why would it say... Why would this say storage almost full?
Because it's almost full.
Yeah, but what is it storing?
No.
Because there's nothing on here I wouldn't just get rid of.
Oh, I gotta stop the YouTube. Still going.